Welcome to Jake's Savvy Moment, where you can get tips and ideas on how you can improve your and your horse's development. Roll the tape. Today on Jake's Savvy Moment, we're going to talk about teaching your horse to spin on the ground. In a previous Savvy Moment, we talked about how when you play at Liberty, you'd really like your horse to be like an empty water bottle floating on a pool, and how you should be able to just lightly push them around and they would just float through time and space while staying connected to you. At the end of that video, I showed how you could spin the hindquarters and move the forequarters and just have them float around there, but today we're really going to break that down and set it up so eventually one day you could just stand there and cluck and have your horse spin and spin and spin and spin until you woed him. Okay? So to start with that, you would want to start online and make sure that you have a really good forequarter yields over while you're standing in zone 2 or 3, and that when you use the lead rope that you can draw straight back on it to have your horse tuck their chin and rock their weight back. And what this is going to do is this is going to give you really good over and back and over. Okay, the good old level 2 back and over move. What we're going to do is I'm going to use these long buggy whips with a little flag on the end as my driving aid, and with having 2 of them later when I start just spinning them, it's going to give me less switching of the sticks and quieter conversation. So I'm going to put the old gray horse here online, and we'll look at how we can start with back and over and then breaking down the different stages to move to a full spin where you can stand in one place and have your horse pivot around there. So we're online here. I've got my stick as an extension, halter and lead rope, and we're going to look at first, can I keep him straight, draw straight back on that rope, and have him back up. I like how he tucks his nose, neck, maybe the feet, and gets himself shaped up to just draw back on the littlest of field. Okay? Next, I want to start looking at, as this stick comes to him, how much energy does it take to get those front feet to step across? I really want to build up to having this be that the 0 being a standstill to 1 being one good clean step across is very consistent. And we're going to set that up so then it builds to 2 perfect in a row, then 3, and then 4, and then 5 until we can have an infinite number of perfect crossover steps in front working for us. And I want that good land where he just to a stop, so he's not in a hurry, he's not wiggling around. What we're going to eventually build to is controlling the hindquarters as well and say, no, don't move those, only the front feet, and get more and more particular. Once I have the really good 0 to 1, standing up here in zones 2 and 3 by the shoulder, I'm going to build to numerous steps and then start shifting my way back. So the first part is getting that 0 to 1 and then building steps till I can have a full pivot. Once I can have that full pivot working for me, I'm going to build to being able to stand way back here in zone 4. I can draw straight back on my lead rope still and have that keep his weight back so he's not walking off all the time. That would be the think right, push him with the stick, over, and then draw back. Push him over, draw him back. Till eventually I can just stand back here by his hip and have him make those circles. Once I can do that, I'm going to keep the rope on that same side, and I'm going to build to having that help hold the hip up so that he doesn't kick it out. And I want to be able to have eventually the stick do that, where I could stand straight behind him and drive him so he can see me in his other eye and come around there. Once we can have that, then we're going to start going from more of a drive to hopefully building it to where they're drawing towards us. I want to make sure that in case I need to correct the hip, maybe I could reach across their back and step the hip to me. That way if they step it away, I can say, "Wait, don't do that. Keep that hip over here towards me. Just bring your front end." Because now I'm going to move from being on the far side to straight behind to now this side, and see with this longer stick, can that draw him all the way around to me. Next, I want to be able to drive from the far side, have it draw him to me until he changes eyes under the stick, and it puts me back in the position where we started. To push him around there. You can get really handy with your lead rope and start practicing wrapping your horse up. And having them unwrap themselves. And then eventually we could build that up to where we were doing it at Liberty. And from any position, as long as we have our little flaggy in the appropriate spot, it's going to drive that horse around there. And we can control them in zone 1, that's their nose, from all the other zones. And we can just maintain pushing them around there while they keep their hind feet still. This could eventually build to where we could ask them to play a circling game, not a driving game, where we say, "Ready, go." Whoa. And we ask them to maintain that on their own, and we just stand still and allow. And if we have a good cluck working for us, where that acts as a gas pedal saying, "Yes, go," they can go and go until we give them the game over. Hope this helps you have a little more fun with teaching your horse the driving game and yielding the forequarters so you can build that all the way up to a great spin. This has been another one of Jake's Savvy Moments.